Ever picture yourself dropped into the backcountry of Alaska? Towering ridgelines, miles of spruce and tundra, and that sinking knowledge. Somewhere out there, a 1,000-pound brown bear could step out of the brush at full tilt. Out here, the rifle you chose back at camp isn't about filling the freezer, it's about making it home alive. Alaskan hunters don't pick cartridges because they're trendy. They pick them because history proved which rounds stopped the biggest animals walking this continent. So what makes a caliber trustworthy in bear country? Is it sheer horsepower, precision at distance, or the confidence that it still performs when the weather freezes your fingers and your rifle is coated in wet snow? It's about finding that balance. Power to anchor a charging bear, practical enough to carry all week across rough, unforgiving terrain. And when you stand in a shop staring at rows of shiny ammo boxes, the real question isn't what looks good on paper. It's which calibers Alaskans keep buying year after year. The ones that didn't just perform in theory, they saved lives when hunts went sideways. If you've ever dreamed of chasing moose through the willows, stalking caribou across the tundra, or just want to know what keeps a hunter alive in one of the harshest places on Earth, these are the 5 rifle calibers Alaskans refuse to step into the wild without. Let's start with one of the legends. Ask any guides up north which cartridge they'd trust for almost anything Alaska throws at them. The 338 Winchester Magnum comes up again and again. It's built for versatility. Most hunters run bullets in the 200 to 250 grain range, but factory loads stretch from a lighter 185 all the way up to a heavy 300 grain slug. That spread gives you options. Fast and flat for caribou, heavy and deep for moose and bear. What makes it a staple? Reach and impact. Across a valley, across a tundra flat, it carries enough energy to put a big bull down clean, and up close it punches through bone and muscle with penetration you can count on. Moose, caribou, even big brown bears. It has the horsepower to drop them quickly and ethically. Now let's be clear, it's not a soft shooter. But compared to true heavy rifles, the recoil is something most experienced hunters can handle without losing accuracy. That's why so many Alaskan guides call it the all-around caliber for big game. Winchester even built a rifle around that reputation. The Model 70 chambered in 338, nicknamed the Alaskan. They weren't hiding the intent. This round was designed for the North, and it earned its name in the field. If you told me I could only take one rifle into bear country, the 338 Winchester Magnum would be one of the safest bets on the rack. Some cartridges carry weight far beyond their brass. The 375 Holland & Holland Magnum is one of them. Born more than 100 years ago, this round set the standard for dangerous game hunting worldwide. And when the talk shifts to Alaska, it's still part of the conversation. This is not a small game cartridge. It was built to deal with animals that hit back. Bullet weights usually run from 235 grains on the light side, up to 300 grains for the loads hunters trust most. That 300 grain slug is the workhorse, chosen for thick hide, big bone, and the kind of animals that can turn a hunt into a fight for survival. What makes the 375 special is its flexibility. Yes, it's famous as a stopping round up close, but in trained hands with the right bullet, it stretches out. Clean, ethical shots past 300 yards are absolutely on the table. That dual role, dangerous game stopper and long-range performer, makes it one of the few cartridges guides call a true do-it-all choice in bear country. For moose, grizzly, and massive coastal brown bear, the 375 Holland & Holland Magnum still holds its reputation. Over a century later, it hasn't given hunters a reason to doubt it. Now let's move to one of the most trusted modern magnums, the 300 Winchester Magnum. Ask any hunter who spends time in wide-open country what they want in a rifle. They'll tell you flat trajectory, reach, and enough power to anchor big game. That's exactly why the 300 Win Mag earned its place in Alaska. Most hunters load it with bullets in the 150 to 180 grain window, but it's a flexible cartridge. You'll find loads as light as 110 grains, all the way past 200 grains if your rifle's set up for it. Where it really shines is distance. Across windswept tundra, across a glacier valley, when the shot isn't 50 yards but 300 or more, this round stays fast, flat, and accurate. Paired with precision glass and the right bullet, it can reach out far beyond what most cartridges in its class can handle. That balance is what keeps Alaskans running it. Flat shooting for caribou or moose at range, enough horsepower to stop a bear, if that's what the hunt demands. For hunters who only want to carry one rifle north, the 300 Winchester Magnum often ends up being the answer. It bridges the gap between long-range precision and dangerous game authority, without forcing you into the recoil of the true heavy hitters. The 45-70 Government, one of the oldest cartridges still running strong in the modern hunting world. Born back in the 1870s and ask around Alaska, you'll still find it riding in scabbards and guide guns. Modern ammo keeps this round fully alive. Bullet weights stretch from 250 grains all the way up to 500. But the 325 and 405 grain loads are what most Alaskan hunters lean on when chasing big game. Where the 45-70 earns its reputation isn't across a valley, it's up close. Effective hunting range? Think 150, maybe 200 yards. Perfect for thick alder brush, tangled timber, or when a bear encounter happens fast and inside bad breath distance. This round doesn't win on reach, it wins on authority. Massive energy, deep penetration, the kind of punch that ends the fight right now. That's why guides keep it in short, handy lever guns. When a brown bear shows up at 20 yards, it's the cartridge that delivers confidence. It might not carry the long-range legs of a Magnum, but in the kind of close, heavy cover that defines Alaska's danger zones, few rounds inspire more trust than the 45-70 Government. Then we've got the 30-06 Springfield, probably the most legendary American cartridge still filling tags up north. Over a century in service, and it's still one of the most trusted big game rounds ever designed. It covers a huge spectrum, from light 110 grain bullets for deer and caribou, up to heavy 220 grain slugs that handle moose, bear, or elk without breaking stride. Load a 150 grain pill, and you've got a flat-shooting deer or caribou rifle. Step up to a 180, and you get the penetration needed for Alaska's heavy hitters. Now, does it pack the raw stopping power of a 375 Holland & Holland or a 338 Winchester Magnum? No. But here's the trade-off. It's easier to shoot. Recoil is lighter than the heavy Magnums. And when hunters are under pressure, that means better accuracy, faster follow-up shots, and more confidence behind the trigger. Ammo is everywhere. From Anchorage to small-town hardware stores, you'll always find 30-06 on the shelf. That reliability matters more than most people realize. It's not flashy, but it works. That's why Alaskan hunters, guides, and old-timers keep coming back to it season after season. When it comes to Alaska, rifle choice isn't just about preference. This land is massive, unpredictable, and it doesn't forgive mistakes. The rifle on your shoulder has to do more than put a bullet on target. It has to give you the confidence that when the moment comes, you'll walk away standing. That's why the same small circle of calibers keeps showing up year after year in the hands of guides, subsistence hunters, and anyone serious about surviving the backcountry. Each of these rounds represents a balance: reach, reliability, and raw stopping power. Different hunters choose different cartridges, but the mission never changes: to step into the Alaskan wilderness, ready for whatever comes charging out of the brush or over the next ridge. Thanks for watching. If you found this breakdown useful, hit like, drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into the calibers and rifles that actually matter in the real world.